Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
If you've struggled for years to lose weight and have given up hope, did you know you can now access GLP-1 prescription medications at trylifemd.com? We're now offering eligible patients online access to GLP-1s, the breakthrough prescription medication that can help you lose body fat and weight. Listen to what people are saying.
It's fun to put on jeans that you couldn't get into 6 months ago.
Every morning, I look forward to getting on the scale.
For anybody who's struggling with their weight, it's a godsend.
And here's the best part. Your insurance may cover 100% of the cost of your medication. So go to trylifemd.com to have your eligibility checked right now. Get started today at trylifemd.com. That's trylifemd.com.
Nice. Really starting with a bang there. Oh, that was so soon. What the hell?
Well, you said it was going to be a quick one today.
Hello and welcome everyone to the After Buzz. Did you turn me down? Did you turn it down?
Well, we were running a little hot there, so I adjusted the volume a little bit. Yeah.
All right, just let me know. I need to change my headphones.
Good levels now.
You're a good level. Okay. Hello and welcome everyone to the AfterBuzz podcast. My name is Nico Jimmy, your host of the AfterBuzz, and of course with me is Buzz Adams.
Hello.
Of the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Yes.
How are you doing today, sir?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, real solid. Really making progress this week.
You were just laying down and complaining about being super tired today.
No, it's my back.
Oh.
Because I have to stay in this one position for
4 hours.
4 straight hours. 5.
Wow, we need to stand up, I think, and stretch.
Oh, yeah, sometimes I like to lay down, just kind of like let my lumbar region rest.
Can you see what's on my phone?
It's a picture of of Sophia from Golden Girls.
The late, great
Estelle
Getty.
Looks like she's making a pot of spaghetti.
Yep, that's exactly what she's making.
Okay.
I was playing it because it's a show that is not just nostalgic. I've probably seen all the seasons multiple times. Growing up, they would play it on the Lifetime channel. 2 episodes, 4 and 4:30, so you'd have an hour block right after you got home from school. And in the mornings, they would have a 6 and 6:30 block in the morning, so you could wake up to Golden Girls.
Golden Girls must still have some young fans because I see there's a Golden Girl presence at places like FYE.
Oh, it is weirdly relatable to multiple generations, I guess. It's like a cool...
I think I saw some Golden Girls merch inside a Hot Topic, too.
Yeah, it's just fun and nostalgic and kitschy kind of...
Yeah.
The writing was really solid, and it won several Emmys for the writing itself. So,
Look, I was alive when the Golden Girls
was airing, right? You probably would never have called somebody cool if they were watching the Golden Girls at the time.
Nope.
My mom always says, how do you relate to 4 postmenopausal women that are looking to get laid in Miami?
Wait, were they trying to get laid?
They were always trying to find boyfriends.
Well, I know Blanche was. Blanche was kind of like the tramp of the group.
Right, and Dorothy was the nerd, and Rose was the ditz, and Sophia was the kind of mean-talking, wise grandma.
Only like a few years older than the other cast members, and actually younger than one of them.
I thought Estelle Getty was the youngest cast member, or maybe that was
that was probably Rue McClanahan. Would be my guess.
I think you're right. But Estelle Getty, younger than her daughter. She was younger than B. Arthur.
B. Arthur was actually older than Estelle Getty?
Yeah. I do know that.
Estelle Getty was the star of that movie that Schwarzenegger tricked Stallone into making.
Really? Oh, yeah, you did say that. I thought that was interesting when you brought her name up the other day.
Yeah,
I don't know what's the name of the movie? Because I've never seen that.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. So Stallone and Schwarzenegger are on this documentary, and believe me,
my God.
If a documentary's ever needed subtitles before, it's the one with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But they're talking about a time that Schwarzenegger, they were big rivals at the box office. both ass kickers and, very muscular physiques. And so Schwarzenegger spread the rumor that he was going to take this role in this comedy that was going to be a huge hit for him. And he intentionally let that get leaked to Stallone. So Stallone jumped into it and got this movie. It was Sylvester Stallone and Estelle Getty in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And it turns out...
Like an expert troll.
It was a prank
Yeah.
on the part of Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
Sly, I got you good that time. Hey, you about my ball, man.
So it's called Stop or My Mom Will Shoot from 1992. Do you want to hear the tagline? Detective Joe Bomwowski's mom is in town for a visit. She did the laundry, washed the windows, and scrubbed the floors. Now she's going to clean up the streets.
Wow.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yeah, it was. I've never seen it. It was a big-time bomb.
The movie poster has Sly Stallone with kind of like in profile with a handgun raised up, and Estelle Getty with like a what is it? A Magnum. What is it? 356.
357.
Yeah, like, and she's pointing at somewhere with a big smile. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the DVD jacket has her wear with a assault rifle and a Rambo bandana.
Yeah, I remember it coming out and thinking, what is Stallone
doing?
Why would he do this movie?
I'm going to have to go back and watch it just for Estelle Getty. All right, let's get into today's topic for the After Buzz. I thought, this is a chance for me to bring up things that I bookmark on my own and like would just read the article later. And now I have a place to share the article with people.
It's a good way for me to sharpen my conversational skills because I don't know what you've picked out. So it's just like a challenge every day to be able to hold up my end of a conversation about literally what could be anything.
Oh, you definitely need
the gift of gab
to practice every once in a while. Oh gosh, where did it go? Huh. Maybe it was on my phone.
Don't worry, I can edit this.
Yeah. No, we're not going to edit this part out. But, so I was saying it is all the things that I would like to talk about on my own.
Okay.
All right. So
this is really like the Nico show.
No, not talk about on my own. I'm sorry. I like to read on my own. Like I would like to be able to discuss them with people, but I don't think people find.
While you're looking it up,
I have it. Everything.
I learned something really, really interesting this week from a podcast.
Okay.
So it's the Skeptoid podcast, and it's this guy Brian Dunning does it, and he looks into urban legends and pseudoscience and UFOs and things like that, but with a very skeptical eye. So did you know that there are people who think that people who claim to have woken up on a spacecraft and there were aliens over them doing some kind of operation or medical procedure, that they believe what happens is when these people go to hypnosis.
Okay.
That what
sleep paralysis.
No. What it's actually doing is they're going to hypnosis, and the hypnotist, who's usually a psychiatrist or psychologist, I guess, accesses these memories of people who have had medical procedures. And, you're out during that, and you don't have a memory of that. I don't know if you've ever been put all the way out for a surgery.
I remember going under and coming out.
Going under and coming out, but the in between part, you don't remember. What they believe might have led to this is what they're uncovering are people accessing those memories of when they were out for a medical procedure, and it's all you don't buy it, you don't find it,
because that would assume that that everybody who has had these delusions or images has been to a hypnotist.
Well,
so I don't know if that's necessarily even true.
That was a big part of the UFO movement after one of the most famous cases, Betty and Barney Hill. They were trying to explain what had happened to them, so they went to
a psychiatrist.
Yeah, who hypnotized. So we're not talking about they got up on stage in front of a crowd and got hypnotized. They went and somebody...
So they came out of the hypnotist more convinced?
More convinced.
That they had been abducted?
Yeah, that's right.
I believe that. I do believe that, yeah.
That it could have accessed some memory of you being under, and
In a
got
procedure room, yeah.
right, and the bright lights on you, and it could be very confusing because you do not have a memory of that.
Now, the scientific side of me would say, well, now we need to account for the amount of claims of people who, one, claim that they have been abducted and operated or experimented on, who have not had any prior procedures,
Right, sure,
and who have not been to a psychiatrist or hypnotist.
I guess maybe they weren't suggesting it could explain every single case,
but it would be a good explanation.
It would be an explanation for some of
yeah.
them. I thought that was pretty compelling.
You and I have talked about hypnotism before, about whether it's real, whether it would work, and you're very firm that it would not work on you.
I think you have to be a willing co-participant.
You have to kind of go along.
You have to kind of go along.
I'll tell you my experience. There's these performers known as comedy magicians. Not comedy magicians. Sorry,
comedy hypnotists.
Comedy hypnotists.
Jay Medicine Hat was a really famous one.
The Sandman.
The Sandman.
Rest in peace, Sandman. And what they'll do is they will recognize people in the audience who seem like they will be willing participants. They bring them up on stage. They hypnotize them.
Occasionally, they'll tell someone to, and they do it very subtly. They tell someone
to get off the stage.
Get off the stage. That's somebody it's just not taken,
right?
Or somebody who's up there and it's like, I'm gonna make an effort.
So I was one of the hypnotists.
Over.
Yes, yeah. Sorry for interrupting, because I think that's an important point about maybe the participant would be thinking of screwing the guy over.
I'm gonna ruin this guy's act or whatever.
Which I'm sure there's some douches who think like that.
So you've been on stage?
I did the Sandman show once, and I got to tell you, it does make you feel like you need to participate, and you just go along with it because you're on a stage and the pressure is there for this group of people to.
That's interesting.
To kind of perform. So you go along with it in that sense.
So it's not just the power of suggestion, it's also a little bit of peer pressure.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't want to ruin it for all these people out in the audience who had to have a good time.
It's a weird psychology of the show. But so that to me, so I did do a few things I thought that were funny at the time. But the Sandman has an X-rated show where I've been to one of Sandman's X-rated shows, and I've been to other. Oh my God, he got women to expose their breasts. Mm-hmm. He got men to suck on those long, balloons, like stretch balloons and like it was a penis. And these are all. It was a straight guy too. And these were women that were modest. It seemed like up front, and I don't know what psychology could get you to go along with those things, but.
Oh no! I believe
it must be a little real.
I've seen things with my own eyes where I'm like, okay, how is this person doing this? Unless it's against their will or whatever. But
otherwise, it's a superpower.
It would be.
It would be. Do you? I bet they use that in conversation. A lot of it has to do with that neural linguistic programming.
What is the Can you give a simple definition of what that is? Like, if you use certain words, you can manipulate people.
Sure, you can speak to a person in a certain way using language to influence maybe how they're thinking or how they're feeling.
You know what? There's another word for that.
Rhetoric.
It's called convincing.
No, it's more psychological than that. And I do believe in the psychology of crowds and people before, because I've been on stage and there is definitely a crowd psychology to things. So I'm not sure this relates necessarily, but the neuro-linguistic programming thing is you have words that you might anchor in their conscience or subconscious. You might say a word like beach over and over. And in subtle ways, you use it as an anchor into their head, and somehow you can get them to think about the beach when you bring it up later.
Okay.
I guess if you say the word beach, of course, somebody's going to think of the word beach, but out loud, it sounds way stupider than what I thought.
I don't think there's, to my knowledge, there's never been a case where a hypnotist or a purported hypnotist has been held criminally liable for something that someone that they supposedly hypnotized has done.
You haven't heard of that?
I've never heard of a case of a hypnotist like, oh, you hypnotized this girl and then had sex with her, so you committed a sex crime. If there are such cases, yeah.
Yes, a hypnotist can be legally liable if they are incompetent and cause harm. For example, in Florida, a hypnotist without proper training is responsible for any harm they cause.
Yeah, but do they give an example of a specific case?
Nope, they don't.
Yeah. I think it's something you kind of have to willingly.
Some states have laws that prohibit the public exhibition of hypnosis for gain or make it illegal to hypnotize minors. You know what? Now that I remember it, I went to a sports hypnotist when I was younger.
Who was going to make you better at fencing?
Well, so as the listeners may or may not have heard, I was a very competitive fencer, and my brother was also a competitive fencer. We were both national champions, and my brother went to college on a scholarship. At one point, he was flying out to meet his coach every month in high school. His senior year, he was flying out to meet his coach every year.
His college coach?
No, his private coach. In high school, we were in high school, and he was flying every month to Portland, Oregon.
That's where your private coach was?
Yeah, because he was also one of the Olympic coaches.
That guy must have been like a regular in Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, he was a great coach, very famous coach, very amazing coach. So we did everything we could to get any kind of advantage competitively for that, and going to a sports hypnotist did help a lot of things with anxiety. There's anxiety in a sport, and how to control your anxiety, how to imagine things, and
okay,
get a breath.
Hypnotism, not your topic that you'd select.
No, not the topic for today. We got into that. Today is a topic about food. I'm a big fan of soup. I'm a soup guy. I'll even just make some flavored water, bouillon. It's basically flavored water. So put some bouillon powder into some boiling water and have a little soup.
Good for you. I cannot relate.
You don't like soup that much.
Yeah, I like a good soup, like a good chicken noodle right out of the can. Or
Okay.
we're mostly talking about the Campbell's company here.
Yeah.
They're,
Do you like tomato bisque?
vegetable beef and barley?
Okay, so you only have Campbell's soup recipes to give me, like New England clam chowder or
Never had it.
a nice lobster bisque.
Never had that. I've never had tomato soup.
You've never had tomato soup. Where I'm literally going to bring tomato soup over to your house.
I don't want any.
Why? Get over you child. You absolute child. Get out of your comfort zone.
Gross.
You're just used to the food your mom made you. You never go. You had to have gone to a restaurant before, and your date or something ordered tomato soup, and was like, "Come on, just try this."
Yeah, but no. I mean, maybe.
Okay,
but
all right. Well,
I don't like it. I don't like anything. Chowder even sounds
I
disgusting.
love
Just
chowder.
the word chowder.
Wait, you've never even had New England clam chowder?
I've never had a chowder of any kind.
No, come on. Like a corn chowder, even?
Ugh. No.
What?
I don't know.
It just means it's thicker and has some cream in it.
I don't like thick or lumpy or worse, thick and lumpy things.
Okay, what? You probably have loaded potato. You are a loaded potato. You have definitely had some potato soup before.
A potato soup?
Yeah, that's probably chunky and.
I had vichyssoise one time.
Okay, that's actually a soup I haven't had.
Did not care for it. It's cold potato soup.
Yeah, it's cold. That's another one. Gazpacho. Have you had gazpacho? That one's cold too.
Well, I was never in Nazi Germany, so the gazpacho
God
always
damn it.
left me alone.
Do
you remember Marjorie Taylor Greene? And she said Joe Biden is something, and he called him.
And he's calling the gazpacho on us.
He's calling this gazpacho after us.
I don't. The listeners don't know this, but I actively try not to laugh at your stupid ass jokes because I see them coming so far in advance. But they do get me from time to time. What other kind of real French onion soup?
No, don't care for it.
Have you had it?
Nope.
How do you even know?
I've seen somebody eat it before.
What about pho? The Vietnamese.
Tastes like detergent to me.
That might be because the cilantro. Did it have cilantro or anything?
It had something that made it taste like what I consider to be inedible. I mean, it just had such a.
So you didn't finish it, I assume. Oh man, that makes me so sad.
Miso.
Miso what?
Miso horn. No, miso soup.
You're so easy to set up.
Yeah, but I get miso soup sometimes. That's good.
Well,
egg drop. Love me some egg drop.
Okay, there we go.
All right. Thank you.
Finally, we found one.
There you go.
It's thick and gooey as well.
It's hard to find a place. I guess any Chinese restaurant
restaurant.
would have it, sure.
Well, today we are not talking about Anthony Bourdain's favorite traditional French fish head soup. We're going to go back to the human beginnings of soup. The first bowl of soup known to man, or at least modern archaeologists.
Give me to take a guess. I'm going to say at least 9,000 BC.
Okay, you know what? Not too bad. 6,000 BC.
Yeah. Okay.
And
well, that they have evidence of.
Yes, that we have it from an
like
archaeology.
A recipe?
Well, it has been identify what the proteins and certain things in it were. So kind of. So an archaeological dig in modern day Iraq, which would have been Mesopotamia at the time, uncovered evidence of a soup made in 6,000 BC.
Was the evidence bowls?
Yeah, maybe. Or just like soup fragments.
Yeah, we found a bowl here and
a
right
spoon.
Next to a spoon, so we put two and two together and figured
That could have been anything. A bowl and a spoon could be, dyes being made or something. But the protein in the soup, not beef or chicken or pork or anything like that.
probably hard to come by in 6,000 BC. You probably had to use millet, or some kind of grain.
No, there was protein.
Possibly something that we don't eat today.
Hippopotamus.
No.
Yes.
That sounds like something I'd like to try once.
Right? Because it turns out that hippos are fleshy like cows. Like they pretty much have a cow's
never
body.
Even considered what their flesh would be like.
Adult hippos weigh.
Hey, you know what's happened to me? I'm now hungry for hippos.
No, stop. Okay. All right. So
hippo.
Yeah.
They must have found this in
Iraq.
They have hippos in Iraq?
Yes.
I thought Iraq's the desert.
Now it is. 9,000 years, in 9,000 BC, which would be 11,000 years ago, it was called the Fertile Crescent.
Except we're not talking about 9,000 BC. We're talking about 6,000 BC.
I'm sorry, 6,000 BC. So it would be 8,000 years ago. But that would be the Fertile Crescent, Mesopotamia, where the two rivers, were the famous rivers.
The Tigris and Euphrates.
Thank you. So it was almost like Africa's climate, and they had hippos. Right? Crazy. Okay, but it's the third largest land mammal walking on the planet. It has canine teeth that grow up to 20 inches long.
Wait, we're talking about hippos, right?
Yes. They're naturally aggressive.
Oh, yeah. Hippos are dangerous animals.
And turning the hippo into any type of food probably was not an easy feat. There aren't extensive records of ancient Mesopotamians eating hippos, but many lower-class Mesopotamians held the role of fishermen and sailors. So their diet probably would have come from fresh-caught fish from rivers or hippos. What does hippo meat taste like? Well, hippos mostly eat grass and scavenge fruit. So their meat is dark and like gamey beef, with a little fishy brininess to it.
I'm not tapping out yet. I still go for some. I mean, is it legal? Are they on the endangered species list or anything?
Yes.
They are?
It's in some regions it is
yeah, but then
illegal.
Then it means in some regions it's
if you have enough money, nothing's illegal to eat. Gamey beef with a slightly fishy brininess. Yeah, that sounds all right.
I'm still interested.
Okay.
Surf and turf all in one.
So it's very lean meat. So it needs to be tenderized and slow simmered.
I would think it would be heavily marbled with delicious fat.
Yeah, apparently there's less fat than you'd think in the hippo. At one time, though, the U.S. Congress considered introducing hippopotamus steak to the American dinner table. We were locked in a meat shortage caused by the Beef Trust corporate meat packing monopolies.
What year are we talking?
1910. So then, Senator Robert Broussard proposed the American Hippo Bill to the House Committee on Agriculture. Did
he know quite how aggressive and deadly hippos can be?
Maybe not at the time. It was not that well known. And he proposed that hippos be shipped from Africa to Louisiana where they could roam free range and feed on the overpopulated water hyacinths, which were overtaking Louisiana by then.
Okay. What dissuaded him?
That hippo farming presented an enormous problem, no pun intended, that it would just be extremely expensive to transport the animals over. Mm-hmm. And I guess the beef companies were like, fine, we'll make beef cheaper.
Psh, what a bunch of hypocrites.
All right, that wasn't bad. No, all right, you know what? You get one of those. Okay, Mesopotamians, and this is a sidetrack from hippo, also considered butter as religiously sacred.
Butter?
Yeah, butter.
Hippo butter or just cow butter?
Yeah, do they make? They have to make milk, right? No, this doesn't relate to that. Do they
have nipples?
Do they have nipples, Greg? There's been evidence of butter being used in pagan practices about imparting a sense of control over destiny, which means taking a natural substance and forming it into what you want.
Yeah, it was probably like, hey, this is a big human accomplishment for 6,000 BC.
Just to make something that was as delicious as butter.
Turned it into another thing, and look at us.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, sure. We truly must be blessed by the gods.
So there is butter from every kind of milk-making animal, including humans. There's a company online where you can get your breast milk sent to a company and they'll turn it into cheese and butter for you. Why are you shaking your head? Wait, you don't believe me?
This is my askance look. I
can tell.
I'm looking at that statement
okay.
A little askance.
Can you send in your breast milk?
Yeah, I want to know what the company's called.
What do you think?
Gosh, I can't even think. I mean, I'd have to have a marketing brainstorm here.
Breast milk has a higher fat to protein ratio than cow or goat milk, so it's better for making softer cheeses, like a fresh camembert.
Camembert?
Camembert, right.
How about a nice mozzarella? That seems like a pretty soft cheese to me.
So most of the sites I have are
butter, not... Wait, you said...
Butter and cheese.
Okay, but we're specifically focusing on butter here.
Yes. So all of the things I'm reading aren't an actual company, but all of these things are sites instructing you how to do it at home. Basically, they're saying it's easy to make at home.
Make breast milk butter.
Yeah, interesting breast milk uses and home remedies from Very Well Family. Breast milk, cheese. You've got questions, we got answers. Baby Center, making butter and cheese from breast milk.
Okay. Again, we're talking about butter, though.
We're talking about butter right now, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how it tastes.
You know what's really delicious? Just white bread with butter on it.
Yeah, you know,
fold it over with the butter and just a slice of Wonder Bread.
I think
it's great.
It's an underappreciated, and I think a lot of people have a memory of eating that and think, oh, that was good, but then you forget about it. But then you forget how good it is. Just some butter and some toast.
Especially with
toast, right? Or are you saying untoasted?
Untoasted.
Oh.
Yeah, just the piece of bread, and you use it to sop up like beans or a stew.
It's all squishy.
Oh, there you go. I like stews. A stew. That's kind of a soup, right? I like me a good stew.
I'm glad we found the liquidy food substance that you are okay with.
More chunky than liquidy, but sure.
Okay, you're good with stews. All right, that's going to be our topic for next AfterBuzz. Which stews does Buzz like? Thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz today. Listen every Tuesday and Thursdays, and listen to the Buzz Adams Morning Show Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 95.5 KLAQ. Talk to you guys next time.